Greetings all. Well, some of you may have noticed that I've been absent for a considerable period of time. I usually start to get phone calls and comments. Bill, are you alive? Where are you, Bill? What's happened? Well, no, I haven't heard a thing from anybody. Anyway, 2 reasons. One, I did a full scorpion, where your feet come around and touch the back of your head over some boxes in the dark. And when I hit the wall, I punched the doorstop, the pegs with my right hand. It's looking pretty good now, but I got a good contusion right here. Yeah, a real nice contusion. It's all bruised up. Yeah, so I couldn't even close my hand for a while. That made gardening impossible. And so I planted a little bit of seeds, or I did it, a couple odds and ends, harvested a little bit of stuff. But by and large, I have been completely out of the garden waiting for this to heal. Okay, and then Ellen had her cousin show up here with her husband on a cruise ship, so we had some tour guiding and stuff to do. Then my son Alex showed up with his friend Tom. So for a whole week, we've been pretty much doing nothing but driving around to beaches, national parks, the volcano, eating out, all that stuff. Just walking around downtown Hilo and showing them things. So I have been out of the loop for at least 1 week now. But I'm returning, and as I had previously promised, since I'm not doing any gardening right now, that I would report on some of the local eateries, that I would talk about some of the restaurants. Well, we had quite an experience during the past week with all this company, because we did make a lot of really wonderful meals here at the house, but we also went out and ate plenty. And I experienced all sorts of different food, in some cases food I'd never eaten before. And that goes for Tenkatori, Japanese fried chicken, karage. It's, well, the story starts, yes, with a Japanese family in Osaka who immigrates to California. After teaching Japanese in California, I believe Castro Valley for a while, the family came here to Hilo on vacation. Well, while in Hilo, they realized, my goodness, some of the old Japanese traditions that are being lost in Japan, they're going away, they're still active here in Hilo. Now I don't know anything about old Japanese cultural traditions, and so I wouldn't notice this. But what I do know about is cultural traditions of, Americans like myself. When I got here to Hilo, the impression was really quite a bit the same, in that I saw people in the park on Sunday having picnics with the family. I saw business closed all over Hilo on a Sunday. That reminded me of Chicago in 1957. On the way home from church on a Sunday, the hardware store and the bakery would be open for maybe 2 hours. You get you some nails to fix the broken cabinet and get yourself a loaf of bread for lunch, and then they'd shut. And that was it. Most things were closed, and most people relaxed. Yes, we used to have picnics in the park, even in Chicago. That's Hilo brought that to mind, and so I think I understand what the folks were saying. Well, Hilo impressed them so much, they decided they wanted to live here. This happens. Happened to me, too. After a bit, their son decided that he was going to bring the famous karaage chicken from Japan to Hilo. And they did. And so, he opened Tenkatori, which means peerless, without a peer. I had never eaten Japanese fried chicken. This is a chain. It's a franchise. There is one in Kona. I believe there's one in L.A. We also have some in Japan. That's where they start. It's different than KFC. I'm sure you all know fried chicken. When I first saw it, I wasn't all that excited. A little curious. It's over there on Laukapu Street in Hilo. There's a little kind of a strip mall thing over there that has a number of businesses and several restaurants. I had been in there because there's a sandwich shop in that strip called Top Dog. That's a very good sandwich shop. I highly recommend it. But as I was leaving, I noticed a fairly new business on the corner of the intersection there where Laukapu meets, I can't remember. Okay. Anyway, it's on the corner. And I walked up and looked in the window, and I said, oh, my goodness, this is Japanese fried chicken. I've never heard of such a thing. I don't know anything about it. Well, it turns out that my son's friend, Tom, happens to know quite a bit about it. I don't know where he picked it up, but so yesterday I had to take them both to the airport, so we dropped them off about 3:30 or so, and it's too early for dinner, so we said, I got to eat in town. We'll go home and have dinner. But I asked Ellen if she wanted to, maybe pick up some kind of carry-out to bring home. We'll warm it up at dinner time. She says, yeah, let's try that chicken place. Okay, so we went to Tenkatori and let ourselves in. And, they make all sorts of fried chicken dishes in a special way. The breading that they put on it, or whatever, it's not breading. It's however it's coated, is incredibly crunchy. This is really the big deal here. Crunchy chicken. It's more so than any you may have ever had. There's also a special marinade that is a trade secret that they're not going to let out as far as they marinate the chicken in something or another before they make it. It's unique, and I did not find the prices to be over the top. Lately, it seems that, with inflation and all that some of the restaurants, I would say in my opinion, have pushed prices beyond reality. That's my opinion. At least some of them have gone to the point that I won't go back in there. Mm-hmm. Hear that, folks? Lower your prices a little bit. You're chasing me out. But when I saw they had 5-piece chicken for $13, I said, well, that's not too bad, especially it's supposed to be very special, Well, it turns out that not only is it a proprietary marinade that's a secret, and I don't have any idea how they coat and fry this stuff, but apparently for quality, they have to use fresh chicken. Well, we don't have fresh chicken here in Hawaii on the island unless you want to run it over with a truck. They're all over the road. But we do not have any legitimate chicken farms here that could supply this guy. So they have to use Hawaiian Airlines to fly their fresh chicken from Honolulu. Yeah, it comes over on a plane, so there's a little extra cost there. Apparently, they change their fryer oil daily as part of the secret. That's also kind of expensive. And I was a little surprised to find with all the California rice we have here that they use rice from Japan only. Well, this is supposedly raises the price. Editorial in the newspaper, the lady was apologizing for the high price at her son's place there. I didn't think it was that expensive. Now, not compared to some of the pricing I've seen around the island lately. Now, they had, full meal bento type things with, rice, curry, blah, 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 for right around $15, something on that order. That's pretty typical these days around here. So I didn't think it was out of line. Pricing was okay. The quality was outstanding. I have never had this karaage chicken before. That's a first. And very crunchy, very moist, very tender. On a 1 to 5, I'll give it a 5. The chicken, at least. I did not try anything else. They have all sorts of other things there on the menu that are interesting, but we had some leftover rice in the fridge, and we had plenty of salad and greens at home, so we just ordered the chicken, brought it home, and put together our own meal. Well, here's a little bit of photography you can take a look at. This got menus, pricing, blah, blah, blah. But I do recommend, if you're traveling here in Hilo, or if you live here in Hilo, may drop in on them. I'm sure they can use your business. It's a new concept for us here. You know, we got a KFC around somewhere, but this is different. They also serve with a variety of really kind of interesting sauces. I have some saucing that's, lilikoi flavored, which is a local type of thing, but there were a number of other different flavors they had. We chose the sweet and spicy. That was good. Unusual molasses sort of a flavor to it. They used molasses, soy, chili. It was different. It was not McDonald's dipping sauce, for sure. Wasabi, aioli, and all sorts of different things there. You can put your chicken in. With an order, you get one choice of sauce. Otherwise, I guess you can buy any sauces you want for a price. So, there you go, folks. With no ability to garden at the moment, I had said I would talk about some of the local restaurants because it's food, and this channel's pretty much about eating. So there you go. Latest restaurant review. And believe me, we had a number of other culinary experiences while we had visitors, and I will continue into some of the others later on. Okay. Y'all hang loose, folks. Aloha. Thanks for watching the channel. We'll be back. Yep. And if anybody's been wondering where Gracie is, hey, Gracie, say goodbye.